talk about the weigh-ins. Hold on. Do we have a Buster Douglas moment, guys? Joshua much lighter, Ruiz much heavier for rematch. Oh no! I know, guys. I know. This is alarming. I'm pretty worried. Actually, I'll be honest. I don't know what to think about this. I'm usually not one to care about heavyweights when it comes to weigh-ins. Like for Deontay Wilder, whether he was going to be 205 or 215 or 225, I never care because his performances never really changed because of that. Jeremy Miller, whether he's 290 or 300 or 320, never really mattered in my opinion. It was really the same performance, to be honest, especially from heavyweights. Again, in the perspective of heavyweights. With these two guys, I kind of expect similar performances regardless of this weight change, so to speak. However, I will say this. As somebody that does get slightly superstitious when it comes to sports, and this being the same number of pounds increase from James Buster Douglas, I always have to add the Buster, defeated Mike Tyson and then lost to Holyfield. It's alarming because sports are weird like that, where it does feel like it's some weird hand of some flying spaghetti monster out there dictating what's happening. I don't know. I'm more of the mindset that heavyweight weight discrepancies or weight changes largely don't matter. Unless we're talking something drastic. Like, if we're talking somebody changing, like, a whole physique, like 30, 40, 50 pounds, like a la Tyson Fury, then the conversation's, I think, different. Because we're talking about, like, somebody changing their entire body and, like, they're having, like, a weight loss moment in their life and career, a la Tyson Fury. But I don't see Ruiz adding, 10 pounds and Joshua losing around 10 pounds to be significant in terms of it affecting the fight. Like, really affecting the fight. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. I'm definitely going to read some guys in the chat right now and see what you guys think about this issue, because I guess. 92 coup. What about Manny Pacquiao? He supports President Duarte. Oh, yeah, I agree. That's awful. Like, President Duarte is a wannabe dictator. I have routinely called out Manny Pacquiao for his support of President Duarte. And overall, his thoughts about the LGBT community. Atrocious. Ruiz is 15 heavier. Sorry, not 10. Ruiz fancies getting shut out of Joshua early. Has Ruiz ever been in shape? Yo. Craig, man. That's so mean. Damn, the universe is perverse. No, he hasn't. Well, Will Povetkin beat Hunter? I don't know about that one. I think Hunter's going to outbox him in probably a very boring fight, to be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. Do you guys think it's an issue? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that this will have an actual effect tomorrow? Barry in the chat, do you think it's intentional or has Ruiz not prepared properly? I mean, he said he ate a dinner and had his clothes on, right? Like before. I don't know. I don't know what the guy is. I mean, I'll be honest. As somebody that fluctuates weight often, like I'll fluctuate like 5 to 10 pounds pretty easily. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like, I just don't see it being a big deal. Even if it's intentional or not, I don't think it's a big deal. But if I have to lean away, I don't think it is an intentional move. I think it's a little more of an accident. Does that mean he wasn't prepared properly for this fight or isn't prepared properly? I don't know. I'm going to say no. Because almost back to Craig's point, has Ruiz ever been in shape? I don't know about that. Interesting. PSK saying question. And by the way PSK is doing it makes it really easy for me to find with the question in all caps, just because all of you guys' chat kind of look the same from far away. Question. Isn't it more worrying that Roble said Ruiz put the weight back on as he felt weak when he dropped weight? I don't know. I don't know enough about maybe like Andy Ruiz's weight history to have an informed opinion about this. I know the highest he weighed was like 290 something, like 298. I want to say almost 300. So this is still below that. So this isn't the highest he's weighed in a fight. I don't know. Like this is a case where like I wish Rob was on the show. Rob, I wish you weren't at your mom's right now. Your mom's and I give your huge take on this. I know you really care about this narrative. This is one of those that just doesn't interest me at all. 92, and we just have a small sample size of Andy. I feel like that's a joke somewhere. Craig said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it in a mean way. Hey, even if you didn't mean it in a mean way, it's funny as fuck. It's okay, man. His dog was saying he looked light on his toes and very quick for a guy of his size. I mean, he does. I mean, obviously, and for his physique, obviously. Ruiz looks that way. Dan in the chat saying, remember, Ruiz loves to play mind games. There is a little bit of that. Where, like, Andy does seem like a guy that trolls people on the low. Not to, like, a Tyson Fury or Gerald Miller or Dylan White degree. Like, nothing like that. But he definitely likes having some jokes here and there. You know, like, he's definitely like a middle-aged dad jokester fighting, right? Like, that's kind of how I view him. UK Rob saying highest since second pro fight. Ooh, Rob, look at you with the news and the factoids. Eddie with a good question. I like this question. Is the fight getting much hype in the U.S.? No, there does seem to be a little bit of a disconnect, to be honest, for this one. And I'm not surprised. Like, think about, like, it was AJ's first fight in the U.S., MSG, New York. The entire machine was behind that fight. That felt like something. This one's off in the desert, hidden away, at an odd time. No, I honestly feel a significant lack of hype or attention for this fight comparative to the first one. But then again, it's kind of assumed with the obvious context of where this fight is, what time it's going to be, all of those factors involved, and where the first fight was, and the factors of it being AJ's first fight in the U.S. That in of itself was a selling point that sold, to be honest. Dan saying, I heard there's a major event in the U.S. at the same time. Yes, it's a college football game. I forget which one. Gary would know. Alabama, LSU. One of those, I'm guessing. I know Gary, somewhere listening, like, no, it's this team. How do you not know? It's FSU or some bullshit. Oklahoma. I don't know. But yes, there's a college football game. Pretty big one. And college football is big. I just don't follow it. What viewer numbers do you think DAZN US will get? Says Eddie. I feel like the barometer now is always that Canelo Jacobs fight, right? Which was like 600,000. We still don't know what KSI Logan Paul did, but we did find out that Eddie lied about it being the best UK pay-per-view of the year. So I'm now expecting he lied about it being the best DAZN event of the year as well. I'm expecting to do around 400 to 500,000 viewers, because plus DAZN has gone bigger with that time. But I would expect close to half of the overall subscriber base of DAZN to tune into it live. Around that, to be honest. 92, a coup saying, question, Andy only named fighters Parker and didn't watch it. Heard it was boring. Am I still hardcore? Yeah. 92, that's a good question. First off, that's not a boring fight. I don't know who said it was boring. That's a good fight. It's not a fight of the year contender, but that's a good little fight. Go check it out. Definitely find it on Daily Motion. And are you so hardcore? I mean, yes, there's a spectrum of hardcores. Let's be honest. Like, I for one, you guys know, like, I don't have a deep knowledge of like boxing. Let's say 1970s, 80s, 60s, 90s. Like, that's just not my forte. I'm not a boxing history guy. There are boxing hardcores that have that forte. I love this question and answer part, by the way, guys. This is normally, by the way, guys, what Championship Rounds is on Friday at this time. But with the Dylan White news, I decided to make it a free show. So usually, guys, Friday at this time, patreon.com/mixcombatradio. I answer all these sorts of questions, so just letting you guys know. PSK saying, question, watching Ruiz versus Parker, would Ruiz slowish foot speed be an issue, being even heavier and in a colder climate than Ruiz is used to, Saudi cold at night? I don't think it's the foot speed is not an issue in this matchup, in my opinion. I think it's going to be whether AJ can land early and often, and if he can start pushing Andy back. That, to me, is what I want to see. We talk. There's sort of a narrative after Kovalev-Canelo that Kovalev never fought like the big fighter. He fought like the small fighter in a way. Not in terms of like wanting to get on the inside and stuff, but just being tentative, being scared of the power. He was the big guy with the power, with the height, with the reach. He never tried to impose any of that on Canelo. And I think that hurt him to a degree. Maybe he knew he couldn't, but I think he didn't, and that hurt him. Similar to this fight, AJ is bigger to a degree in terms of just dimensions, maybe not pure weight. He has heavier, I would say, power in terms of pound for pound power. He needs to act like the big fighter and start pressing him a little more, in my opinion. Impose his will a little bit. Not necessarily get on the inside and duke it out, but try to make it his fight instead of having to react to Andy Ruiz and struggle to get his jab going. Because he kind of did that in the first fight, in my opinion. Rob, there's a lot of him to hit. Oh my God, so good. So good. Dan, I don't know who you're referring to. I'm referring to Ruiz or AJ, saying, mate, his footwork is great now since last fight. PSK saying, question, what are your thoughts about the 22x22 ring, which is bigger than the British Boxing World Control limit of 20x20? Obviously to benefit AJ, it is. Like, let's just be honest about it. It's in the hope to allow him more space, more room, because he did get stuck on the ropes a lot early. Like, that seemed to be an issue. That he instantly gave up the center of the ring to Andy within the first 10 seconds of the first round. And on top of that, he was only a step away from the rope at really most of the fight. And that to me is, again, an issue. Craig saying is the same size as MSG. If it is, then he might just have the same difficulty, to be honest.